Austin, back at it again. I just recorded the entire video and then realized I was muted, so this is going to be regurgitated takes for what I just said. Oh no, dude. Okay, I only did the main card. I'm trying to get back into it. I kind of wish I did do the prelims because I was right about most of those, but you win some, you lose some. I went 3-3, not the best. Starting at the top, we got Nurmagomedov and Sandhagen. My general consensus of this fight was that I thought Sandhagen was the better overall striker. Nurmagomedov was the better overall grappler. I didn't think either one had the capacity to really finish the other one, so I was right about it being a decision. However, I didn't realize the speed of Nurmagomedov's striking. Well, mostly his kicks are fast too, but mostly his boxing. Because Sandhagen would go and try to set something up and, close the distance. Being the 5'10" guy fighting the 5'5" guy, he has to close the distance. And and he'd eat counter punches constantly. And you'd see he figured it out partway through the fight that he can kind of close the distance, and he, like, the left hook, like the lead hook and stuff was landing well. He would land it, and I wish he kept the game plan of landing it and backing out, because I feel if Sandhagen changed his strategy a bit and focused on going in, landing a good shot, and getting out before Nurmagomedov could throw his counters or anything, he'd probably do a lot better. But he was trying to, do what Sandhagen does and throw multiple strikes to set up something else. So he would land the lead hook, stay in range half the time, and eat a counter punch or two. And that was making him lose the exchanges, because in the kicking battle, he was losing. Nurmagomedov's a very good kicker. Umar is very good at kicking people. And Sandhagen wasn't doing anything to really stop it, which also made me depressed. Outside of that, if you look at the takedowns and everything, I really enjoyed the scrambles they were having, because if you look at it, Nurmagomedov was mostly shooting to get to the back, and most of the time it would consist of like him shooting a single leg or double leg and just going under the arm and going to the back. But there was one time, which is the one I like talking about. I talked about it a bit before I realized I was muted. Nurmagomedov was, I believe he shot, saying he get sprawled, and Nurmagomedov hooked over the arm and went and swung it past, like I did wrestling. Why did I forget the name? But he swung the arm whip like that, swung the arm across and went around the back. And if you look, Sandhagen had a really good counter to this, which I was hoping he would go for some kind of like footlocker knee bar with what he was doing, but he was just doing it as a form of getting up, where whenever Nurmagomedov would get his back, Sandhagen would focus on trying to set up and getting a leg in between his legs so he can pull it up and turn into Nurmagomedov and force him to basically square up so he can start standing up and getting away. And it worked throughout the entire fight until Nurmagomedov finally took him down flat and got him on his back with him in top position. And he was able to keep good position and land good shots from the top. But if you look throughout the entirety of the fight outside of that last takedown, that was the sort of, that was the story on the ground, is that Nurmagomedov would take him down, circle to the back, Corey would force a leg in between his legs and then use that out of position, like that positioning and that sort of height that he gets to turn into Nurmagomedov and force a stand-up. So that was really cool. I was wrong about this one. I knew it was going to be a decision, but I was wrong about the winner. Sadly, Sandhagen coin falls by 20%. Umar coin rises by 4 because everyone was hyping him up anyways. Going down, Shara and Mikhail. Mikhail Olechechek and Magomedov. Those two. I was right. If you look at this one, it goes again to prove that Magomedov's grappling is not the best. And it also proves what I said earlier, that Magomedov's a really good striker. He's very good at kickboxing. However, he's not the guy who's going to put your lights out with one shot. And I don't feel like he's really going to be the type to go on this big run in this division, because I feel a lot of guys who can fight with him pretty, tit for tat in the striking are also pretty good grapplers. So I imagine a lot of his, at least fights in the higher levels, being similar to the sorts of fights you see where it's two dudes who are close enough on the feet, but one guy can get the takedown and get control for a little bit, so he's winning the rounds. I feel like a lot of fights with Nurmagomedov might end up like that later on, depending on the matchups, because you have a lot of very good like wrestlers in the middleweight division, or at least good wrestlers for middleweight. Yeah, this fight went how I thought it would. Better striker Magomedov outlands and gets the decision win over Mikhail, who is the, I'd argue, more powerful puncher, but he's a lot worse at landing shots. So yeah, that one I was right. Let's go. Another one. Figgy Coin continues to rise. The god of war, bro. Let him win. Figueiredo just bullies Vera, drops him, wrestles him, does whatever he wants. I knew Figgy was better everywhere than Cheeto, at least skill-wise. I did not know he was going to drop him, and I did not know that Cheeto just wasn't going to be able to do anything. I thought Cheeto was going to be able to do a lot more with his range because he's so much bigger. Like, Figueiredo, I look at Figueiredo, and it doesn't even look like he's changed, like, in size since flyweight. It just looks like he doesn't cut as much weight now. So that might be a him thing, but he's been going crazy, bro. Vera loses the decision. Honestly, if you have anyone with good striking that you think on a technical level is better than Vera, who's not going to get chinned by him, like, by getting tickled, it's probably best to bet against Vera just because, well, to bet at least decision, because Vera, outside of a few times, like, Vera has good power to finish people, and he has incredible durability, but he gets outskilled on the feet so bad and depends on that land one big shot and finish it, or land one big shot and win the round, that you can kind of assume most, like, unless it's a bad matchup, you can assume most of the time it'll be a decision. Like, the Dominic Cruz one, I knew looking at that, thought, Cruz is the better technical guy, but he would get knocked out by Vera. It would happen, and if you watch that fight, he got dropped like every round by Vera because he would outpoint him, like numbers wise, and then get dropped. And then in the fourth round, I think he eats the head kick and gets knocked out. Cruz's recovery is insane because he was already up talking and shit, but he gets dropped and he gets hurt. Moving on. Oh yeah, gotta say it one more time. Love Figueiredo. He's so funny. Should just watch him come up and bully people like Rob Font. I don't know why he fought Cody Garbrandt, but that one was funny too. And then fighting Vera and just doing really good, being the first guy to drop him, which is great. But yeah, Figueiredo's doing great things. Figgy Coin up and rising. Moving on. Ferguson and Chiesa. This fight, I feel like everyone watched this fight and neither guy moved anywhere in any of the rankings because what does this matter? This was just a fight to solidify that. Everyone knew Ferguson was going to lose. I don't think anyone picked him, which it's sad to say because if you don't know, because I've never told anyone, Ferguson was one of like the first fighters I really got into. And that kind of helped me get back into MMA. Not recently. This is like before I did YouTube. This is way before. But in general. So it's sad to see him like lose so many times and also get choked out by Michael Chiesa, which I've had a soft spot for Chiesa. So it's not as big of a bad side for me, but still sad. And then Tony Ferguson retires, or kind of retires in the most Tony Ferguson way possible by putting one glove in the octagon and saying, I might be back. So just not a retirement. Why even do it? Oh, dude, it's so funny. Okay, moving on. Mackenzie Dern and Lupe Godinez. If you watched the previous one and you heard my breakdown, I thought, oh, Mackenzie Dern has an 11% takedown accuracy, and Lupe has a 74 takedown defense. So I don't think Dern would take her down and beat her on the ground, but she did. So I guess it's weird talking about stat checks with certain fighters and having this happen. Where all the stats are just wrong because it's Mackenzie Dern. I was wrong on this one. I thought Godinez was going to do a little bit. I don't know. I just thought, Matchup wise, I thought Loopy had it. She did not. Can't say much. Here, technical. This is something technical I could bring up. Nern pieced her up jabbing wise. She just jabbed her a lot from what I saw. I wasn't able to watch all of every single fight, but still made me sad. Every other fight made me sad. This was what I just kind of stat checked and picked. Moving on, Joel Alvarez and Elvis Brenner. Brenner coin still falling. If you watch the breakdown of the pre-fight stuff, I had already said I think volume wise, Brenner's going to be more toughness wise. He's shown that he's tough and can. I thought they were gonna. I thought Brenner was gonna push the pace, land a bit more, maybe get hit. I think accuracy wise, he would be lower, but he would land more through volume and maybe win a decision. And I thought his grappling was going to be more of a threat. Newsflash, it was not. Joel Alvarez just walked at him and landed like every punch. I think Alvarez had like an. Watching the fight, I could swear, bro, it felt like he just had a 95% accuracy and just didn't miss anything. And he would just walk at Brenner and stand still. And I know if someone doesn't know fighting stuff, that could be, you go, oh, why are you just standing still? But for Brenner, that must have been so stressful because he moves around, does like 18 feints, moves around, bounces around, steps into range for 1 second, gets countered twice, backs out, and Joel Alvarez is just standing still in front of him and takes one step forward. And it was just on a repeat for 3 rounds. Grappling exchanges were okay. If I remember right, there was a sequence where I think Elvis shot and then Alvarez just used he sprawled and then started using a guillotine and started cranking at the neck and forced Brenner off of him. And that was most of the grappling, was that Brenner was engaging in it but couldn't get anything done because of the takedown defense of Alvarez. And then Alvarez just piecing him up on the feet. I thought the low volume thing for Alvarez was going to be an issue, but with accuracy like that, he was just piecing him up, really hurting him. Very good performance. This one has me looking at Alvarez as a genuine guy to worry about. Maybe Brenner might need to rethink some things strategy wise because that was a rough one. That was really bad for him. Overall, I went 3-3, not the best. Kataladze won. Good for him. Garam coin going up. Not the best card for me. I went 3-3 on the main card. I just said that. Didn't do the best on picks. But that happens sometimes. Sometimes I let my love for Sandhagen and my dislike for like different size copy and pastes of Habib's crew running through every fan favorite. But or at least every guy I like. But that happens, man. Sometimes people just lose. Y'all have a good one. I'll be back in like 4 days to cover Adesanya and Duplessis. See y'all later.